Hi, I'm Scott.
And I'm Michele, and we are the owners of the Main Street Mouse.
And this is the Main Street Mouse Weekly Podcast, show number 178 for March 3rd, 2025.
For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram is moving. And supervise your children.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Dead men tell no tale.
I know not who you are, nor how I came to find you. But may I just say,
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Hello, Main Streeters out there. How are y'all doing?
Hi. How's it going?
It's Monday.
It is Monday.
Monday.
Sorry, I was chewing. I was eating a Thin Mint, Girl Scout cookie season and all that.
Isn't that over?
No, it's never over if you have cookies still in your house.
Keebler makes better ones.
You know what? Keebler does make good knockoff Girl Scout cookies. Like, that's not even a joke.
Their version of the Samoa I like so much better than the Girl Scout version.
Yeah, I know. And the Thin Mints are pretty good, too. See, I'm so used to eating the fake Keebler ones that when I have a real one, it doesn't taste right.
But I remember for a long time, nobody made a duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
Of those
Keebler
cookies.
does, y'all, and they're like $2 something.
Dollar General used to make a duplicate, and they were pretty darn good.
See, I won't go Dollar General. I'm not that cheap.
Oh, I
but
am.
I'll do Keebler.
And actually, Aldi's had good versions of the Samoas. Their version of a Samoa is pretty good, too.
Oh, my gosh. I have, had nothing but junk today, so I'm, hungry.
You had a muffin for breakfast.
Half.
Okay. So you only had half junk.
No. Anyway, sorry. I hope you guys are all doing well.
Now that you're hungry for cookies from Girl Scouts.
Yeah, now you want cookies.
And they're not selling them anymore, so if you don't have any, go buy the Keebler ones.
Go buy Keebler.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. It's the same thing. Actually, it tastes even a little bit better, and they're cheaper.
Remember when Edie's Ice Cream had their versions of the Girl Scout ice cream?
I do.
Oh, my gosh. That Thin Mint was good.
Okay, let's stop talking about food.
I'm hungry.
For now, anyway, because we have food to talk about.
We do have food on the
Okay,
it's
so
actually the first Disney news one once we get to it. So
Okay, yeah, we're going to pause the whole food thing for a second.
Okay, let's get started with what we did last week. So last week, we didn't record on Tuesday. The live podcast show is being revamped. It's going to come in with a new name, I believe, new everything, new formatting, new everything. So if you're a fan of that show, thank you. And if you're a fan also, we're going to be reformatting it, and I think it's going to be better.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we're always big about wanting to keep things fresh and new and something that not everybody else is doing. And, sometimes you got to revamp some things, and I think that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we have some good ideas, so we'll see if they come to fruition.
We shall see.
We'll see if people still listen. Might get more listeners.
Right,
though.
maybe. I
want
don't
to
know.
check it out. So on Wednesday, didn't really have anything to do, so I said to Michele, Michelle's like, I want to do something. I'm like, you want to go to this place? So we ended up going to the Recycle the Magic store, which just opened in Oakland, Florida.
Which is like a stone's throw to Winter Garden,
Yes.
Florida. It's not far from Walt Disney World, let's say.
No, and it's on Colonia, which is a very popular road around here, or 50, as a lot of people know it as. So you're used to 192, 50 is like the next major road that if you're going north, that goes the same way. On 50, it used to be at Lakeland Antique Mall, is that correct?
Yeah, it used to be out in Lakeland, which is like an hour from here.
Yeah.
But they leased a new building. It's close to Walt Disney World, and it's a freestanding building instead of being in a huge building with other things.
And it's right off the 429 I'm sorry, not the 429. It's right off the turnpike. If you take the turnpike, it's not far right off the exit there to go see it. So if you put in your GPS, it'll get you there. Really cool store.
Very cool store.
So much fun stuff. And at first you were kind of hesitant about wanting to go. And then once you got there, you kind of really dove into reporter mode because you saw all kinds of fun stuff.
Well, yeah, reporter mode. So we're trying to be cautious with our money, and I knew a store like that, things were not going to be cheap necessarily.
And they weren't.
And they weren't. Because it's a lot of memorabilia. It's a lot of things that like old signs from the parks, lands that are closed,
menus,
pins, matchbooks.
even the thing they bring you the bill in it, say like Liberty Tree, the little
wasn't that expensive
It
still?
was like $75 for the little book that said Liberty Tree Tavern on it.
That the server drops out at your table.
That they bring the bill in for you to be able to pay it, and put your credit card in there, and they take it back and pay for it. That was $75. And I think it was just because it was Liberty Tree, because the one underneath it, I can't remember what it was, but it was like $30. So the one thing that got me was the Camp Mini Mickey. It looked like a street sign. It was one of the ones that hung on one of the pillars telling you which direction to go to get to that area.
Mm-hmm.
And it was $5,000.
For a little metal sign.
For a metal sign.
Did you see they had the big Camp Mini Mickey over the door?
Like
so
the
if
banner.
if the little one was $5,000, how much was the big one?
I can't imagine. Well, I know they said, so they had the Disney Year of a Million Dreams banners hanging up, and those were $495.
That's crazy.
But you gotta, I know it seems like a lot of money.
Because it is.
It is. However, if you're a collector of Disney stuff, and this is all stuff from the parks, so it's very unique. You can't just go to a store and purchase this stuff. So in order to be able to buy it, you have to go to a resale shop like this place. And if you're a true collector and all that stuff, how cool would it be to have the Year of a Million Dreams banner in your house?
It would be cool. But in addition to theme park things, they had like old movie cells.
Yes.
They had stuffed animals and stuff from like the 30s.
Some of the original Mickey and Minnie dolls.
Yeah, okay, so they had a pair of the original Mickey and Minnie stuffed animal. I know that you guys have seen pictures with Walt with these weird looking Mickeys around him. Well, the original pair, the prototype, I guess you could say, there were 3 made. The store has one. Walt had one, and I forget who they said had the other one. But there was only 3 in existence, and they have one of the 3.
I can't imagine what that cost.
I didn't ask because I should have asked.
I wonder if Ub has it, or Ub's family. Ub Iwerk's
No, I don't.
family?
That doesn't
No?
sound familiar to me.
Just because he did the original sketch of Mickey, so I was
No,
maybe.
the guy told me, and I can't remember who it was, but I want to say it was somebody in cahoots with the Disney family.
Okay.
It wasn't.
So outside of the Disney family, this is the only one.
Basically, yeah.
But I can't imagine. I mean, I would put a value of that so high that you would have to pay me a lot of money for me to get rid of it.
Well, sure, something from the 1930s and something that was so iconic, like the first plushies of Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah.
Granted, they don't really look like Mickey.
No, they're kind of scary.
They're a little scary, but stuff like that. I know that you, sir, are a big collector
I am
of
a collector of things.
So if we had endless supplies of money, I know that you would probably go in there and buy a banner or buy something.
There was quite a few things I did like, things that I thought were really cool to have. A lot more of the smaller things, though. I mean, some of the artwork was absolutely... They had a couple Mary Blair actual pieces of her art. Which I think that would be a really cool thing to have, something from her, because her use of color and such was just beyond anybody at the time could even do. She was just fantastic with all that.
You know what I wanted? So there was that case of Club 33 stuff.
Oh, yeah,
and they had the Haunted Mansion Club 33 collection.
Yes.
And they had a couple of purses and a lounge fly from same.
Yeah.
And we didn't buy a thing. We just looked. I took a bunch of video. Because I went in there with the point of checking it out for content, not necessarily to buy anything. But I will. Oh wait, there was one black purse, and I don't think it was Loungefly, but it was Club 33, and it was $295.
That was a Dooney. It was a Dooney.
Was that a Dooney?
It was the Dooney. I saw it. Yep. It was because the lady who owns it, she got a phone call, and I was standing right by there as she's taking the phone call, so I could kind of overhear her talking to the person.
Yeah.
And she said, "I have 2 different Dooneys. I have the black one, and then I think the other one was a white colored one.
The other one was like there was a pattern on it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what that was, but yeah, maybe someday when I have money, we'll go in there.
I was looking at the Vinylmation because I used to collect. How many do you remember that? The Vinylmation figures that came out years ago. We were still in Michigan.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, we would drive to the Disney store in Ohio so he could buy Vinylmation.
And it got so bad that the manager knew me. They would save me the big boxes that the 24 would come in. They'd save me the boxes so I could have them as part of my collection, which is still in storage in our storage unit somewhere. But I do think if I were to find those, I would probably take them over there and sell them.
Yeah, I mean, you have quite a few, and I know
I probably have about 200 of them.
And our older son Andrew has some sets also. I think they're up in his closet.
Yeah, he doesn't have as many as I did. He was trying to get one complete set, and then he had a bunch.
He was following what you were doing.
He was, but I had quite a few of them, and I sold some of them on eBay years ago. But I think if I went, because now they're just sitting in storage, and I don't really have a place for them to display them, and I hate having collectibles that I can't show.
Yeah, if you guys could see what I'm looking at in here.
And that's why on the other side of the room, so last week I spent the week clearing out my closet in our office of all my collection. And I've got probably 10 big boxes of stuff I'm going to start listing on eBay just because I need to clear out some of this stuff.
He gets obsessive when he decides he's going to collect something. It's overkill until you don't want to do it anymore. Then you switch to something else.
Well, it was mostly the Funko. And I had, as you may have heard me say before, I sold about 800 to 900 of my Funkos a couple years ago. But I still probably have, between what I'm keeping and what I'm selling, I probably still have about 300 of them.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
So I'm just keeping certain characters like Captain America, my absolute favorite, Stanley,
and everything that's signed.
Everything that's signed, I still have. Mandalorian, I like those ones a lot. A couple here and there from different Star Wars films, but nothing. It used to be a Marvel movie dropped, and then Funko they would almost inbox me, say, hey, here's the 30 for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would pre-order them all on Amazon, and then they would just start arriving like 8 to 10 weeks later.
I don't miss those days.
I used to get deliveries every day.
Oh, my gosh. I'd be like, now what? And then he'd always say, oh, don't you remember? I ordered it forever ago. I'm like, whatever.
You know what it was, though? It was in Infinity War. That movie is what started really got me going in my Funko collection because I became obsessed when they dropped all that, and I wanted the whole collection.
Well, I'm kind of glad you're past it.
Yeah, I'm bad. Now I'm more into Lego.
Oh, I know. Another thing. Jeez.
And Lego is very hard to display unless you have a lot of shelf space. And it has to be a certain width and all that stuff. So I had to clean my shelves to get most of my Legos out.
Ugh, Lord help me.
Always something.
Always
keeping you on your feet. So anyway, recycle the magic. If you're in the area and you have time, take the time and go over there. You could spend an hour, maybe 2.
Even
really
just to see all the old memorabilia. I mean, even just to, if you're not planning on buying anything, just to see all it's nostalgia everywhere. And it reminds you of, old trips or, stuff from years and years ago. And it's kind of cool. It's cool.
One of the cool things they have, and I've seen this at different shops, and I actually saw this when we went to Cast Connection because they had one of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride vehicles at Cast Connection.
Mm-hmm.
But this store had one of the rocket ships from Disneyland's
opening day
attraction. I didn't even ask how much that was, and I don't think it had a sign on it.
Oh, it did.
Did it?
Don't quote me.
I was gonna say 35,000.
35,000 is, I believe, what I saw. But if you want to know what we're talking about, there's an iconic picture of Mickey in this white rocket from opening day at Disneyland, and it's old school looking Mickey.
Yep.
And they have the ride cart for that.
The rocket that symbolized the ride is just outside Space Mountain in Disneyland.
Right, and she said something about it was kind of equivalent to our Astro Orbiter type of thing, but from a very, very long time ago. Well, 70 years.
Yeah.
Holy crap, 70
I know.
years.
And when you think about it, if you had a car from 70 years ago, $35,000 for a car is nothing. So to have an actual ride vehicle where they weren't mass produced. There wasn't tens of thousands of these created.
No.
So buying an item like that, you are very fortunate to even get. Remember a few years ago, somebody had bought a part of the monorail and they were selling it. And it was on a tour because I remember the people
yes.
They reached out to us to help them promote that they were driving this thing around the U.S.
Yep.
Showing it. To me, that would be a very cool thing, but I don't know what you would do with it because it's not something you can store in your house. It's a monorail car.
No. I mean, it wasn't a full long
No,
it was a piece of one.
It was a piece of one. It was like a section. But it would be cool if you could somehow build the track and have it sitting somewhere, if you had big enough property.
If you had a lot of property and a lot of money, I'm sure you could figure something out. But Yeah, it's just
John Stamos could do it.
John Stamos could do it. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around stuff like that when you don't have the means or the space.
Yeah.
Like, let's say somebody gave us some big piece of memorabilia. We would be like, "Oh, thanks," and be like, "Oh, shoot, where are we gonna put it?"
Because you want to show it,
Mm-hmm.
but you also want to make sure it's taken care of. You don't want to let anything happen, so you just don't put it in a box and put it away, or put it in a storage unit,
or stick it on your lawn.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's taken care of.
HOA would get mad.
They would get mad. They got mad at us having our trailer in the garage for.
I know we live in such a snooty neighborhood.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
they probably wouldn't like that at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, next time you're in the area, or if you live here, put it in your phone, find the directions, go out there, check it out.
They have social media too, Recycling the Magic.
And they list on there what new items arrive and such. And you can call them and see if they still have it before you take the ride out there, because they sell quick.
And they said that they get new items daily.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, every day.
They even had one thing I wish I could have bought, one last thing. They had Imagineering construction hats that you've always seen on anything you've ever watched with Imagineers walking around. They have their name on the hat, and they're like those coppery gold-looking helmets. I wanted one of those. They had one that said Joe on it, and I was like, what if that was Joe Rohde's?
Well, Joe's a common name.
I know, but I would tell everybody on earth it was Joe Rohde's.
This is Joe Rohde's hat.
And then I would find him to have him sign it. So
even if it wasn't his hat.
Exactly. You just make it up. So we did that on Wednesday. On Thursday, Michele had a media event at the Springs. She was going to, this wasn't a Disney media event. It was a media event for the Robert Earl Enterprises restaurants that are there, which are Earl of Sandwich, Chicken Guy, and Planet Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he owns more, but I think those are the three they highlighted, correct?
Right. Yeah, so it was at Disney Springs, and a lot of people, I don't know, I don't want to say a lot of people, but some people don't realize that some of the restaurants down there have nothing to do with Disney. Right. They are but people associate it because it's on Disney property.
Correct, yes.
So yeah, they were basically just wanting an extra push for some of their menu items. There was a couple of new things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was basically just to try food, which I had no problem with.
I would have loved that media event.
It was a good media event because we got to, there's newer sandwiches at Earl of Sandwich, and one was chicken, avocado, chipotle.
That's my favorite. I get that every time we go.
And it really wasn't that spicy. I was
not.
shocked.
It's not.
And then they had a new
good flavor.
Right. Then they had a new pastrami, which I don't eat. And then they had a Cuban, which I also don't eat. But I did eat the chicken. And then they had little samples. They have these like premium looking cookies now.
Right.
That have like lots of sprinkles. One of them has like a ton of chocolate and such.
Because they got rid of the cake bake.
Yeah, they don't.
Carlos's.
Right. So now they have these cookies, but and they were good. Very rich. Mm-hmm. I don't think you know how we've been wanting to try the one with the chocolate all over it?
Yeah.
I took one little piece of it and I was like, whew.
So since you've sampled it now, let me ask you this question. So there is two other major cookie places at Disney Springs, Gideon's and Summer House. How would you rate the new cookies at Earl of Sandwich compared to those other two?
Summer House is still my favorite.
Summer House still your favorite.
Yep.
And I like Summer House, and the price at Summer House is really good for the size.
For those big cookies,
yeah,
like $5, $4 for a cookie.
Yeah, and then if you ever get in there and they have the sample cup for $5.
You know, we keep missing it.
I know, we gotta go. We just gotta stock.
We just gotta stock them.
Or just buy every cookie.
No.
So you went to Earl of Sandwich first, which is one of our favorite places to quick dine.
Yep.
And then you went to Chicken Guy, which is owned by Guy Fieri, and it's right outside of Planet Hollywood. It used to be Planet Hollywood's merchandise store.
Yeah, over on the side there.
Yes.
And they pretty much, so the newer things they had it was a strawberry Oreo cheesecake milkshake.
Interesting. Okay.
And it was very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of strawberry on the top, so it wasn't overpowering. So it was like an Oreo cheesecake shake.
Okay.
And then their newer sandwich is it is a chicken parm pepperoni sandwich. So I just pulled the pepperoni off.
Okay.
But it was good. They had some sort of a newer sauce on it, and I actually really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I would get that again. So now I want to go back and actually try one of their sandwiches.
Well, what else do you want to go there and try?
I wasn't going to bring it up because you and Greg were harassing me about it.
Up.
Why?
Because what do they have there that you didn't know that?
Fried pickles.
And you're obsessed with fried pickles.
I'm on a kick, yes. Yeah, so they had a big display table, but we didn't. They had a display table of food, and then they had the trays of actual food for us to try. So the display table had fried pickles on it, which I didn't know that they had, so now I have to try them.
You should have snagged one off the display.
But you know what? I don't know how long it was sitting out
that's
there
true.
for, because it was outside. It was under their new patio area, their outdoor seating. But I saw that, and I was like, son of a gun, they had.
We can go back. We can go over there and try it, because I haven't been to Chicken Guy. I think we went when it first opened or shortly after it first opened, but we really haven't been back. And I like the sauces. They have like 30-some different sauces to try.
Yeah, I mean, I like all that stuff too. But yeah, I do want to try the fried pickles. The sandwich was good. They had a BLT one with chicken, obviously.
Okay.
But the shakes are a limited time thing. She said that they offer 'em a different flavor type of thing like every quarter. So right now it's the Oreo cheesecake, which is very good.
Okay. And Chicken Guy, if you've never been there, there's always a line. I don't think we've ever walked past there and there wasn't a line to get into Chicken Guy. It's just crazy. And they've expanded, I think, the restaurant 2 or 3 times already.
Because when they first opened, it was very small in there.
Very small.
There was like 3 tables.
And then they took another storage area that was Planet Hollywood's and expanded that. And then now they've expanded a patio area, which actually they had a small patio. Now they have a larger patio.
A larger patio. It's been open about a month and a half, I want to say.
Yeah, they could probably take over a larger restaurant easily with everything that they've got going on.
And I wonder if the reason that there's always a line outside is because there's not a whole lot of room in the ordering area.
Could be.
You know what I mean? Like you don't have, like Earl's Sandwich, they have the big winding line.
Yep.
They don't really have that. It's just like the one like cafeteria line.
Well, if they grow any more, they're going to have to move. Because I think they're kind of out of space unless they're going to take away from the walkway.
Yeah, they seem to be always busy. Like I know that like Earl's Sandwich, in my humble opinion, is always the top spot for people to go eat. People love it there. I mean, we've loved it there for years.
Since vacationing here.
It's safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like comfort food. People go get the holiday turkey sandwich.
Holiday turkey sandwich is the key. It used to be that, and it used to be when Wolfgang Puck Express was open.
Oh, my gosh, I missed that place.
Which had some of the best pizza, and the french fries there were fantastic. And if you're not sure where that is, it's over by where the Christmas store is at Disney.
Now it's Eat by Manette.
Yes.
Which is blech.
Yeah, it was not our kind of. Some people like it, and everybody's entitled to their
Everybody's entitled, but in my opinion,
yeah, Earl is definitely when we're down there and we don't want to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, because you can use your AP discount. It's pretty cheap for lunch.
Yeah, Earl is definitely the go-to one. So, and then so your final stop was Planet Hollywood.
Yes, and so we went there because I thought that they were going to have new menu items.
Okay.
And I don't. So they had us go up to the 3rd floor, and they had like 2 tables full of like food on display. They had that appetizer wheel that they have. Their overloaded milkshakes. They had like margaritas, things like that. Their lasagna, just different like their specialties.
Okay.
So they brought the appetizer wheels to the table, and then they brought like a plate with a small serving of one was a macaroni and cheese hamburger, the other one was a piece of salmon, and the other one was a meat lasagna.
Oh, it's everything you love.
So I ate none of it.
Yeah.
I was going to eat the lasagna because before when I've had it, there's been cheese inside.
Yeah.
And I stuck my fork in a little piece, and there was like a big piece of meat in there. So I don't know what was that.
Was it meat when you ate it before, though? I don't
know. No, it was
remember,
cheese because I used to
meat
get it.
Oh.
And I used to get it with like.
But lasagna has to have some kind of meat sauce usually.
Well, you can get it with marinara, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But anyway, so it was a plate of stuff I don't eat. But I did have a little bit off the wheel because the wheel has the Captain Crunch chicken. They have spinach artichoke dip. They have
some kind of shrimp, I remember, right?
Right. Wings, and then like these buffalo chicken tostada thingies.
So, and she keeps saying the wheel. If you've never been, it's actually a Ferris wheel. They bring to your table, and it's got 6 appetizers on it. It is impressive. It really is. It's
and
really
it's variety.
Cool. It's a variety. So it's good for a whole table.
You know what? We could go in there one time and just get that and something.
Yeah, but there's some stuff we wouldn't eat. I wonder if they would let us substitute like the shrimp because I can't eat shrimp and you don't eat shrimp.
I don't eat seafood, so
yeah. So I wonder if they would let us
give you a double dose of something instead of. That's a good question. We'll have to ask.
Yeah, because if we because it's like $40, I want to say. However, for $40, you get 6 of their appetizers, and it's a lot of food.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it.
Yeah, because you're going to spend 20-something a meal anyway.
And you get your AP discount in there, too.
Yeah.
I think 10% off, but it covers something.
I had the VIP margarita, which was a golden margarita, and it was in one of those big mugs.
It was a fishbowl.
It's like a fishbowl, which was very good. But, I've always felt that the cocktails at Planet Hollywood have been good. Like, I've never had a cocktail at Planet Hollywood that I was like, ugh.
Okay.
Because they have a good variety. They had one. It was blue, but it was a Long Island base to it.
Oh, really?
It was blue.
Oh, they had blue Caraca too.
I don't know. So I had a little sip of it, and it tasted like a Long Island, but had almost a little tiny bit of fruit taste to it also.
Interesting.
But very mild.
Okay.
So and they're big. See, now
they're huge.
I wonder if they put the blue in there to kind of like, because if you had a fish bowl of Long Island, you're going to crawl out of there. I wonder if they put the coloring and such in it to break it up.
It could.
Because I'll tell you what, and it wasn't as strong. Usually if I take a sip of a Long Island, I make the sour face for a minute and like, ugh.
Yeah.
But then I finish drinking.
How do you do it?
Ugh. But I end up finishing it anyway, because after a couple of sips, you don't really taste how bad it is.
You start to feel it, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, who cares? But it gets the job done, is what I say.
There you go.
Saves money because it packs a bigger punch. But the big one at Planet did not seem quite as strong.
Okay.
But good cocktails, good appetizers. And the cool part about this event is they gave us like to-go boxes at each location.
And that's something they never do at media events.
No, and I've been places, and I've talked about this before, and I will drag somebody for this when we're at events and people ask for to-go boxes when it's a catered thing.
No.
But this, they had everything like, let's use Earl of Sandwich for an example. Like I said, I had the chicken. You could have had the pastrami, whatever. But they had them in small pieces.
Right.
And then if you wanted a box, you could have it. But what the manager ended up doing was had them make full sandwiches to give us on the way out. That's why I brought the turkey
And that was
home.
my dinner that night.
That was your dinner. Chicken guys, same thing. They had all these plates of cut up food, and they didn't want it to go to waste. So they gave us the little boxes. And then Planet Hollywood, the same. Now, normally at an event, they don't do that.
No, usually it goes back to the staff day.
Well, because for me, I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest, I think it's super tacky to ask when you are at a media event.
Yeah, you're not paying for this food, and you should not have the gall to ask and say, "Hey, this is good. Could I have some boxes to take home to the left?" Because years ago at a media event, you saw somebody go up to the basically like the buffet table and
ask for boxes, and it was so embarrassing. And I never saw that person back at an event again.
I wonder why.
Well, I don't know, but anyway, it might have been the boxes, might not have been. I don't know, but this time we were supposed to take it. So I was like, sure, why not? Yeah. And so I ended up bringing food home for everybody. Aiden ate the chicken. It ended up working out good.
It did work out good.
You see, I'm talking about food. I'm so hungry right now.
See, you told me to stop talking about food. Now it's all.
Well, it was research.
So while we were at so I went to the Springs with you, but I wasn't part of the media event. And I went over to Everglazed because for years now, Lou has been telling me I have to try this chicken sandwich at Everglazed because it is the best chicken sandwich on property, is what he used to say. Okay. Now, the chicken, it's called the Funky Chicken. Is it the Funky Chicken? I think that's what's the name of it, the Funky Chicken.
Okay.
And I sent you a picture of it. It was good, but it's not the original sandwich that Lou talked about. So it used to be a chicken breast, deep fried, and then they put all this stuff. They put coleslaw, they put bread and butter pickles, barbecue sauce, different ale. I mean, on a really good bun, all this stuff is. And Lou said, "It's so good, you gotta try it, So now they have tenders there, and they put tenders on it instead of the chicken breast. Which the tenders, fantastic, and I would say probably some of the best chicken tenders I've ever had in my life.
So then, why didn't you like the sandwich?
Just the flavors. They didn't put the barbecue sauce on it, which I love barbecue sauce, and you know that. It was okay. It was nothing. nothing stood out about the sandwich at that point. Now if I had gotten the tenders with the different dipping sauces, that would have been something different. But I was going to have this sandwich that everybody's raved to me that's the best sandwich.
And it was just okay.
It was just okay.
What did you get on the side? Was it fries?
I got fries, but they used to have waffle fries. They don't have waffle fries anymore. Now they have a crinkle cut fries, and they had either just crinkle cut fries or you could get the spicy ones that have buffalo seasoning on them.
Oh my goodness.
I just got the regular ones because it was another $2 for the buffalo seasoning. And it was already expensive with the chicken sandwich. But there was some sign, and I need to go back and see what it was, but they had a combo of the new chicken tenders with fries, a drink, and a donut.
Oh.
And I don't know if it was a mini donut or a full-size donut, but I would like to go back and find out what that was, because if you get a combo with a donut, that's
I know. You like those donuts a lot.
I do like those donuts. And the peanut butter explosion one is the best. I didn't get a donut, though, when I was there the other day. I behaved. Even though I wanted it. And then I walked around the Springs for a while. I checked into some of the stores. I spent a while in Lego store, as we were just talking about. And then I just kind of waited for you. And then I started doing some work. I sat in front of the fountain by AMC there, and I just did some work on my phone.
Yeah, that's the one thing about our jobs. We can pretty much work from anywhere.
Yeah, I was answering emails and emailing different people about different things, maybe something that we're in the talks for maybe doing in 26. So I was just kind of dealing with all that.
And I come wandering out after drinking my VIP fishbowl margarita. With food.
I was hungry again by that point.
I'm like, I brought chicken. Look, I brought you a turkey sandwich.
So you had a good event. Thank you for Ally Global, who invited you out there to cover the event. They've always been so good, too.
They are so good. I love them over there.
So good. And then one other thing we did in the last week was on Saturday night, our friends Corey and Lucretia, who you might see from Facebook group and such. Corey's our longest employee of the Main Street Mouse, or volunteer, I should say. He's not
volunteer. He's one of our original followers.
He started way back in the beginning stages.
Way back.
And Corey they've become family to us. Their family is our family. And so they were in town for the one day. So we went and met them at Universal. And it's the Mardi Gras celebration, which we hadn't been to yet. So we got to go check that out. And
we've been meaning to go. We just haven't been over.
It's been busy. But Mardi Gras is a lot of fun at Universal. I don't even know. We didn't even go see the band that night because they have their concerts on Saturdays and Fridays.
No, because the parade started 7:30?
7:30, I think it was.
And then the concert was supposed to start at 8, but it was so packed there. But if you go to Universal for Mardi Gras, there's a lot of parade floats in the Mardi Gras parade. And no matter what side you stand on, people are throwing beads.
Yes.
Now, some of them, sidebar, you know what annoyed me terribly?
Huh.
I saw a couple of jerky people up there pretending to throw and not with a smirk on their face.
See, this is Universal. They don't put up with that crap. They should have thrown them right off the float.
Like, for real. Like, I had some choice words for this one guy because Corey and Lucretia's daughter, Clara, was in front of me, and she was catching beads. And
she did good.
She did really good, by the way. But she had her arm up in the air, and smug dude was just pretending to throw. I so wanted to flip him off. I should have.
What a jerk.
What a jerk.
So you go there, and they throw beads, and you want to collect as many as you can. And they are flying off these. There is probably, I'd say, over 100 throwers total between all the floats. Because the floats actually almost, the entire pathway, you can almost have a float at the beginning, a float at the end, and it would fill the entire pathway because that's how many floats are in this parade.
Right, and a little bit of a tip for you. If you get super irritated with these people that aren't throwing the beads that should be throwing the beads, look on the ground.
Yes.
Because you will find, if you don't catch it in the air, no biggie. Because they were all over the ground, and I found a couple on the ground. And I'm like, okay, because I didn't catch anything midair. I caught one on my head.
I say you caught one around your head, which was very impressive.
It was like ring toss.
It was like ring toss to your head, and the guy probably got a prize when he went.
I mean, it went right around my head, and it startled me because all of a sudden I saw like blue beads across my nose. I was like, what in the world? And I'm like, oh.
You couldn't have done that had you tried.
I could not have done that again if I tried. And what's funny is out of all the beads I had, the turquoise one, it was only one blue, and it's the one I caught with my head.
Very cool. I filmed the parade, so you can go to our YouTube channel. You can see the entire parade. We filmed it. I caught 2 or 3, and then I had a bunch at my feet. I had 4 strands at my feet, so I just kind of pushed them as they were flying. I pushed them into my feet so nobody would come by and snag them so I could get them afterwards. But Corey was right in front of me, and I swear I would look in my camera and I'm watching it, and I'd see beads coming at me, and I'm getting ready to grab them, and then all of a sudden I'd see Corey's hand come out of nowhere, take them right out of the air. It was like a shark taking somebody out of midst.
Well, Greg was standing next to me and everything in the air, and he was recording too. He stole all the beads in the air too.
Yeah, and
I don't want to stand next to taller people anymore.
I stood in the back, so a lot of them didn't get to me, and if they did, they went way past me.
Well, it's kind of like hit or miss, literally, to get these beads. But if you want extra, look on the ground.
Well, and if you want extra, actually, stand where the parade steps off. And then go back into where the parade is getting ready to go back in.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you do the step off, you get the whole parade, then you just cross the way, actually, stand on the other side of the street, and you'll catch it as the parade is coming back, and you could probably get double beads that way. So it's fun.
It's a good time.
I want to go back before it ends, though.
I do, too. I would like to go back.
Yeah, go back and try. We didn't try the beignets this time. We didn't eat anything.
And we didn't go to the tribute store. All we did was walk around and talk to people.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything.
Because we were there with a lot of friends. So
yeah,
next
it just
time,
so happened to be a bunch of people were going that night, and it was like, okay, well, we'll meet up here, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we go back on our own, I want to go to the tribute store and I want to get some beignets.
Yeah, we should make a plan to go. Look at the remaining concerts. Maybe we can pick one of the Saturdays or something to go if there's somebody coming that we wouldn't mind seeing.
I don't know.
We'll see. So that was our week. It was a good week. I mean, we like I said, I was working on the closet at home trying to organize it, get our office ready. Got lots of other stuff going on, but you want to run down the news cycle?
Sure.
Quickly here. So for Disney news, and this is going back beginning last Tuesday. So Disney released the full food guide for the Epcot's International Flower and Garden Festival,
which starts Wednesday.
And I do have that later, but we will be there Wednesday to cover it. Did you look through it at all? Did you see anything that intrigued you?
You know what? I put the information out, and right now, because I'm so tired, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I want to try the Florida strawberry shortcake.
I know you like that. I've had that before. It's pretty good.
They have a lot of the cucumber watermelon slushy sounds good to me.
We had that before. It was at the same place with the corn.
Okay. The corn, I hope they have the corn. I'm not seeing it yet.
I'm pretty sure they have the corn.
I hope they have the corn, because if you haven't had the corn, because they actually cook it right on the husk.
There's like a barbecue grill.
Yeah, and it is so good. You can get it just regular corn. I think they put some kind of butter on it, and the crumbs or whatever.
They had the street corn. So the corn booth had the strawberry shortcake and the watermelon slushy all in the same spot last year or the year before.
Gotcha.
And I know they have, what is it, the violet lemonade, the frozen. Is that what it's called?
Yes, I believe that is called. And I did just look it up. And grilled street corn is at Beach Grub is the name of the booth.
Beach Grub.
Beach Grub. Okay. So you're gonna find that. Make sure you get it because it's so good. We had that every year. I think we've had it actually since they came out with that. But some of the food looks fantastic. They have you'll probably like this one. It's the handmade potato chips with the different dips.
Oh, see, I love handmade potato chips.
And I don't know what the dips are. One of them looks like it might have caviar on it. I'm not
sure
on that. But I guess we should find that out before we'd order it. They have a charcuterie plate of things like that. I'm just trying to look through the pictures because I really don't have time to read it all right now. Oh, here's the dips. You want to know the trio of dips and chips: caramelized onion dip, whipped feta dip, and then pimento cheese.
Okay, it's not bad.
With handmade potato chips and caviar.
No caviar.
You could probably get it without the caviar. It looks like it goes on at the very end.
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna sidebar again. You know what annoys me terribly?
What annoys you?
These festivals put fish on everything.
Yeah.
It's like, and if you're not a seafood eater,
or you're allergic to it,
or I know a lot of people like myself that don't eat fish, and it makes it harder to find food at the booth.
Mm-hmm, it does.
Or they have like pork on everything.
They add it to things that it doesn't need to be added.
Exactly.
To. Sometimes everything sounds good, and then
so you get to that part and you're like,
the very last one, it's got. So at the ice cream booth, swirling. What's that?
Swirled Showcase.
Swirled Showcase. They have liquid nitro honey mascarpone cheesecake with honey and granulated honey and honey mead blueberry compote on it.
Okay, compote.
I think I've had the cheesecake before, but I've never had it with the liquid
the other
nitro
stuff
and all the other stuff on it. So I'm definitely going to have to try that, I think, while we're there. Soy glazed pork sticky ribs. I would probably like those. Farmhouse meatballs with impossible beef.
Okay, I would do impossible.
You would do that. There's so much. The avocado toast, we had that a couple years ago. That was really good. I remember that.
And
that
they
was
had
good.
like cinnamon rolls or something at that same booth.
They have biscuits and gravy with impossible sausage.
Okay, I would do that.
They're fried cinnamon roll bites with cream cheese frosting, but it comes with candied bacon. So see, they added the bacon. That
killed it.
Away from you.
What if you could get rid of the bacon though?
You probably. I would guess it'd be something they'd put on the end.
Yeah,
It'd be
just tell them to skip
garnishment.
it.
One of the booths. Okay, there's the. Oh no, that's something different. Sorry. They have hot honey chicken sandwich, southern fried chicken sandwich, hot honey and pickles on a brioche bun.
You would like that.
I would like that. Carrot cake liege waffle with pecans and cream cheese icing. That might be good if you're. I don't know if I want carrot cake. I'm burnt out on it. Chicken and waffles, crispy chicken and sweet honey jalapeno bacon cornbread waffle.
Oof.
Wow, that's a lot to say.
You would eat it.
They also have honey glazed cauliflower with honey roasted carrot puree, wild rice pilaf, spring vegetables, honey blistered grapes, and sunflower brittle.
Okay, I'd probably try it.
You would try that. It looks like they have the spicy hot dog with the pineapple chutney. And
you got that last time.
And that's pretty good. I like that. There is your lavender drink with the flower, the edible flower.
Is it violet lemonade or is it lavender?
Violet lemonade. It is
slushy.
Now this is the non-alcoholic, but I know they always have the alcoholic
They
one.
do? I've only had none.
But it's violet lemonade, Minute Maid premium lemonade with desert pear and violet syrups added to it, and then there's the flower garnishment, which is edible.
Right.
So, but yeah, they always have a alcohol version of that too. But there's tacos with shrimp, giant tostada con carne. You won't eat that. Yeah, there's a lot you won't eat. We're gonna have to go through, but we're gonna have
I
to go
eat the
through this
desserts.
Well, what we'll have to do is as we do before every festival, we always go through the list and try to figure out the things we must try. Like the last time when we had our list and we tried the Italian nachos and it was horrible.
Yeah, they didn't bring them back.
They don't bring that. Was that this one or was that Food and Wine?
Might have been Food and Wine, but it was terrible.
Potato pancakes are back.
I love those.
And this is where they have my toasted pretzel with the ham and the.
Oh yeah,
cheese.
I know you like that.
I've gotten that every year since we've lived here. Italy. Oh, you want the Italy menu?
I would love the Italy
So
menu.
you get the Ensalado Arlecchino, grape tomato, seasonal melon, mozzarella, salinge, and balsamic dressing. So it's like a
caprese almost.
Sounds like a caprese almost. Primavera, casso, pepe, gamberi. It's got shrimp, so never mind. Just stop reading right there. Chocolate dirt cannoli. Cannoli shell with cookies and cream cannoli cream filling.
Okay.
That's all they have for food at the Italian booth. So it looks
that's
like you have to go get a slice of pizza out the pizza window.
Which is also good.
It is very good. They have a traditional muffaletta with ham, salami, mortadella, provolone, Swiss cheese, and olive salad. I would like to try that. Spicy chicken gum. Oh, you wouldn't eat. It's got sausage in it. Oysters, no. Bananas Foster bread pudding.
Oh, yes. Where's that at?
With rum caramel sauce. That is the American Pavilion.
Okay.
That's where that one will
I'll
be.
have to make a mental note.
And then the funnel cake, because they always have a special funnel cake. This one is peaches and cream funnel cake.
Okay, I wouldn't eat it because I don't like peaches. Man, you know what? You figure I'd be really thin with.
You don't eat anything.
I don't eat anything.
Frushi is back.
Love Frushi.
Everybody loves Frushi. They also have a steamed bun filled with savory flavored vegetables and plant-based soy meat. So it's a bao bun, but with soy.
I would eat that.
So you would eat that one. Ramen cup with fresh vegetables and grilled chicken. So that's something else you would eat there. You would not eat the octopus taco.
Oh, no.
Taco balls.
No.
So let's see here where we're at now. Morocco grilled kebabs with carrot chickpea salad and garlic aioli. Tremola chicken, Moroccan spiced lamb, stone-baked Moroccan bread with assorted dips. You've had that before.
I do eat the bread.
Yeah, and orange blossom saffron cake. So if you want to go ahead and read it, the show notes will have everything in here, but there's 180 food items, food and drink items this year. So there's quite a bit. I will say this, though. In France, they have a beignet. They've had it every year. And the first year they put it on there, we were excited. Because if you read it, it is a forêt, cream, vanilla, glacé à caramel, fleur de sel.
Oh, my gosh.
I have no idea. I do not speak French. Caramelized beignet filled with vanilla cream and glazed with caramel on it, and it sounded, that sounds so good. It was the worst thing I have ever gotten.
It is not a beignet.
So
It's like a
disappointed.
glazed donut
It's a
with mush
glazed
in
donut.
it. It's not a beignet. So
And-
if you're expecting beignet, like a real beignet, that's not it.
I remember the first year they had it, I went over there, I bought 2 of them because I wasn't going to share. I bought 2.
He did.
And we got it, and I started eating the first one, and I gave Michelle a bite of the one I was eating, and she took it, and neither one, but we ended up throwing out the whole one and then like half of the other one.
Yeah, because we were like, this is
So
awful.
bad.
And I love a good donut, pastry, carb. I never meet a carb I don't really like, and we did not like it, which is saying a lot because I love donuts.
Yeah, so do I. So that one, so you may like it. Go try it. More power to you because there'll be at least 2 more there because me and Michelle will not be having that again.
You can have ours.
Yeah, we just did not like it. So, but like I said, there will in the show notes you'll be able to click on that and you can go read our article with all the menu items on there. There is so much to read. Check it out. And if you're there Wednesday, look for us. We'll be
Say
around.
hey.
Moana 2 is going to make its streaming debut on Disney Plus here just in a few more days, March 12th. So
Okay.
if you didn't see it yet, you can see it on March 12th on Disney Plus. Raglan Road is having their Mighty St. Patrick's Fest,
Mm-hmm.
which Raglan Road has always been so good to the Mainstream House.
Oh my gosh. Yes, they have.
So great. We've had our live on locations there. They've taken care of us when we've done our live on locations. They've given food to the people who were there, like appetizer plates and stuff like that.
And we always cover media events for them, and they are probably one of the best places at Disney Springs for a media event. It's always a good time.
Hands down.
And
One
the
of
food
the
is
best.
good.
Food is good. The drinks, everything. So yeah, if
People
you're-
that work there are very nice too.
yeah, and we're going there on March 14th for a media event there
Yes.
for this event.
Yes, I'm gonna have to
So-
find something green to wear.
Yes, so we will be there for that one. I'll have to wash my Loki shirt so I can wear that there because it's green. Next up, Disney put out the Ultimate Guide to Downtown Disney District at Disneyland. So when we were there at D23 in August, there was a lot of construction at Downtown Disney.
A lot of
out there.
construction.
And a lot of that is finally done now. The stores are opening. Stores, restaurants, and such are opening. Erla Sandwich was moved. It used to be the last one. Now, then it was the first one
Yeah.
place. And I think they're still moving to another location that's been built. So if you're going to Disneyland anytime soon, and it is the 70th anniversary this year, check that guide out so you don't miss out on what they have at their downtown Disney,
Mm-hmm.
which is a fun area. I like being down there.
Me too.
The Disney Treasure put out a guide to family rotational dining. So if you've never cruised on Disney, you're told where to eat every night, which restaurant to eat at every night, and your wait staff follows you around from restaurant to restaurant each night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rotational dining. It's really good. It works. I didn't think I'd like it at first, but I kind of do like the concept of the way they do that. And this just kind of tells you how it works on the Treasure with the
Okay.
restaurants they have there. New Snow White inspired ball gown and Evil Queen inspired wedding dresses. So this was one of the things you had sent me the other day to put out.
Mm-hmm.
And we did, and I think they were $1,500 for each of those dresses. I can't remember exactly.
That sounds like a good deal to me.
Is that a good deal?
I don't know.
I have no idea. They put out a blog that's celebrating 30 years of frosted fun at Disney's Blizzard Beach.
30 years, huh?
30 years. I remember it just like it was yesterday. Day one. I know you prefer Typhoon Lagoon over Blizzard.
I do.
I prefer Blizzard over Typhoon. Typhoon does have a good wave pool, though.
This
it
is
Typhoon?
true.
Yeah, it's Typhoon. that
But
has
we
the good
don't
wave pool.
go to the water parks.
We don't go to the water parks. No, we don't go hardly ever. And we always say we're going to go, and we never do.
I know.
I don't know why that is. Disney also dropped collector's edition Snow White inspired dolls for the new film that's coming out.
Yeah, they're real. Okay. All right. I'm just going to say it. They're doing everything they can to do damage control with this movie, with putting out merchandise and stuff, because I have been reading some things. Now, people's forecast of what could possibly happen aren't always correct, but they're already expecting this thing to bomb. All right.
That's sad when the studio's expecting it, but it's because somebody ran their mouth.
Okay, because there's many reasons. I'm not going to get on my soapbox, but there's a lot wrong with this movie. And people and the girl, this Rachel that plays Snow White, is just not likable. There, I said it. And she's just not, and it's not my opinion. It's because she kind of trashed the original movie.
A classic that
And
built
a lot of
company.
Disney fans were like, well, if you don't see the value in the story or the history or whatever, why'd you take the part?
Yeah, exactly.
And so
You're cashing that check.
yeah, you're going to cash that check. But yeah, the dwarfs are scary. I don't know. I guess it'll be interesting to see, but as of right now, people are not digging it whatsoever. People are not interested. So I'm wondering if, wait, I'm gonna derail again for 1 second.
Is this a true sidebar or no?
No. Well, maybe half of one. Okay. So whenever, and this is just my observation, whenever a movie is gonna come out that people are iffy about. Okay, like, is it going to do good? Is it not going to do good? They always seem to push the merchandise ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like, as a just in case. Like they did with
sales before, because after they might not get as many sales.
And the one example I will use from now till eternity is Wish. They had a month and a half of Wish merchandise. Nobody even knew who those characters were.
The character meet and greet was in the parks.
Right, and kids don't know who that is yet.
Right.
And then the movie didn't do well. And now you don't hear anybody talk about it. So it was kind of like forgotten about.
I remember at D23 on the Friday, the entertainment night, I was there, and they showed us one of the first trailers for the film. And they actually had the girl playing Snow White and the lady playing the evil queen come out there, and they were all happy and joyful. And I just wondered, like, Disney looked at her and said, "You don't say anything wrong.
You better look happy as can be to be Snow White. Do not diss the classic.
Do not on this stage."
No, and I think that's, you got to understand. I was reading something today, another sidebar. Oh, I know what it was. It was a video. Somebody was at Disney, and they were like, I've always said when it comes to Disney, either you get it or you don't.
Correct.
Okay. And people that go there that don't understand, like, the Disney culture, let's say, probably would think that we're all a little bit crazy.
Oh, yeah.
The people that don't get it just don't. But so maybe that is why, like, if the diehard Disney people are not happy with the Snow White thing because it's such a contrast from the original.
Right.
Plus she said not nice things about the original.
Which is actually the movie that kind of built the entire company.
Right. That was Walt's, first big deal. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm getting at is that true Disney fans don't like a lot of change, but they like it when you still respect where things came from.
Right.
Because, Walt has been gone a long time. The 9 old men are no longer. So they just expect it to be respectful and you know what I'm saying?
No, I know.
Let's
you got to give props to what built the company. It may have been a different time when it was, and that's the whole thing. You got to look at the things when it was filmed, what the time was like, and why they did certain things back then, and how they wouldn't do that nowadays. But then you still have to respect what it was for the time, and that was what, 90 years ago almost.
Yeah, I just think that sometimes, especially with the true blue Disney fans, they're not going to like changes, or they're not going to like you knocking something that's a classic. And
well, my first thing, you talked about this the other day, stop remaking stuff.
Where's the originality?
I mean, and that's what, because you and me were talking about this the other day, and I truly still think that when Walt started the company and he had his Imagineers and he had his film guys and he had all this stuff, and he basically said to them, do something amazing. And they did it. They did stuff that was absolutely amazing that nobody had ever thought of. And nowadays, it's like they do some good stuff, but it's like they reuse stories and they remake them into live action. And you don't have to make everything a live action.
No, they need something that's going to knock out of the park that's not a regurgitated story, or something that, because here you go. Because let's use Snow White as an example. Because people love the original so much that some people feel that there's no need to remake it into something else. Right. Like, the classic is good enough. So let's come up with a new story. But then let's do double-edged sword here. When you put out something new these days, people don't like that either.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but if you look at
win.
If you look at some of the classics, though, Wizard of Oz is another classic movie. They've never remade the original movie. They've never taken that story and remade it, which I think is good that they haven't done that, because movie was good. It was great for the time and everything, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But people always are like, "Oh, we could remake that." That's just saying that you have no skill set. I'm sorry, if you're remaking a movie that's already got a script and it's got a storyline and all that stuff, and you're just plugging in actors to read the script that may have been updated, but still, it's really not. come up with something new. Come up with something original. Give us a new character. Give us a new Disney princess finally. You know, we haven't had one since, what, Merida? Was she the last new one? Or no, Moana.
Which
Moana's the last one.
I'm gonna throw a suggestion out there.
Okay.
We need an Italian princess because she would be my favorite for obvious reasons.
She would.
You know what? Give her a little bit of attitude. Make her like pasta. I mean, talk with her hands. I'm describing myself.
You should write the story. You should write the story.
I can't. I have to talk with my hands.
And her name is Princess Vespa. all those Spaceballs people just got that little
yes, and he calls me.
And I call her Vespa all the time.
And then there's Vespas in
there's
Italy
Vespas.
Pavilion.
So we were there the other day, and there was a shirt of it looked like a woman's silhouette on a Vespa. And I was like, you need that shirt. I think it was last year or the year before, there was a mini on a Vespa ornament for the tree, and I made you buy or I bought it for you. I can't remember. We bought the ornament because it was it was mini on a Vespa. And I made you sit on the ones outside Gastos, even though it was in France. I made you sit on the ones outside of France.
He's so funny. But yeah, so yeah, come on. Let's get an Italian princess. I think she would be fabulous.
I'm sure she would be. And one thing I wanted to touch on, you had talked about too, about you either get Disney or you don't get Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same way with Star Wars and Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like them, they have the fans who are very animate about, I want this. I want what I grew up with. If you talk to Star Wars people, most of them want the original stuff. They don't want the newer stuff. They want the original stuff expanded. Marvel people are very particular about how they want the characters represented, even though there's different incarnations of every character.
It's hard to follow with Marvel.
It's really hard to follow if you're not, but true Marvel fans want it a certain way. True Star Wars fans, the 501st and those people, phenomenal. They know exactly what they want to see. They know what they want to do, and they will support it.
So then why?
So it's very much like the Disney crowd.
So like again, when I was reading today, and I've read previously, because there's been a whole thing about Disney adults. And what I was reading today, Disney adults are weird. Disney adults are scary. Like Disney adults, this and that. And I'm so far like removed from what quote unquote like what normal people would think. Right. I'm like, how do you figure? Then I started to think, is that what my non-Disney people back home, do they think I'm a nut job? Because
but it's no different. But as a Disney fan, you look at the Star Wars and Marvel people and think they're crazy.
I don't think they're crazy. I think they're particular.
But you always say they're extreme when it comes to their fandoms, and it's no different than the Disney fandom. It's no different at all. It's just a different fandom. The Walt Disney Company just happens to own all these, which is marketing and business-wise the smartest thing moved ever, to get the most passionate fandoms all under one umbrella.
But what's funny is if you really think about it, as far as taking your fandom to the extreme, Disney adults do.
Yep.
They wear like clothes to the parks that you would never wear to the mall. Like
it's true.
Mouse ears, silly hats, just overload. And you don't see that so much unless you go to like a comic book convention or something where you see all the Star Wars.
But nobody looks to side eye at Disney.
No.
You dress like that. Well, at least the majority of people. I know there's that one grandfather who's walking around with his family who forced him to go to Walt Disney World as a family trip, and he's looking and goes, why are all these people dressing like
Or you have people that are first-timers
yes.
or went with a niece or nephew or something
yes.
and looking around
they don't get it.
Like, what is wrong with you people?
And I didn't get it.
No.
When you first brought me to Disney on our honeymoon, I honestly didn't get it. And then I quickly started business-wise in my head. I'm like, hey, this could be a website.
And back then, I didn't wear mouse ears and all that
stuff. No, you didn't. You would wear Disney clothes. You go to the Disney store back in Michigan and buy Disney shirts or whatever, but you really didn't wear them anywhere else. But if we were going to a Disney movie or if we were going to Disney. I remember, I had a lot of pirate stuff. Pirates of the Caribbean stuff. And I wouldn't wear those unless we were going to see pirates on film, or I was saving the shirt to wear when it came to Disney.
I know. Now we have all this stuff that we just wear daily because it's part of our wardrobe.
It's part of our wardrobe because it's part of our job, which is actually part of our life.
Yeah, it's weird how that changed, huh?
Yeah.
But anyway, so
one more news story for Disney. The Moana topiaries arrived at Epcot, which is the front when you first walk through the gate, after you scan your Magic Band or your card, and you walk in, and that's always the one that everybody wants to shop because you got Spaceship Earth in the background, and you get the picture of the topiaries, and usually it happens on opening day of the festival.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fuss online about this.
It's up. It's Monday. The festival don't start for 2 more days. Why are they up now?
So basically this year, they're not saving anything except for food and merchandise. I mean, when you usually opening day, you want to be there in the morning to see what they put up front.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be something newer or something.
It's always different than what's...
It's a different display. Even if they reuse topiaries, let's say, they set them up differently.
Yep.
But they have a whole new, Moana theme, and they already put it up, which I don't understand. And a lot of people online were saying the same. So it's not just me being crabby. They're like, well, there's no element of surprise.
Here's my beef with it.
Oh, boy.
So they have time to put the topiaries up. Well, they've been putting them up for 2 weeks.
Yes, they have.
But they had time to put the front topiary, which is the big one that everybody waits to see, 2 days before the festival opens. Yet, Festival of the Arts had Christmas trees still up on opening day.
Oof.
In January.
That's a fact.
So you have time to put up the new stuff, but you don't have time to take down the old stuff before the last festival. And I don't understand the thinking of that. And like this one, they have to clean up Festival of the Arts stuff before Festival of the Flower and Garden starts. And it's like,
well, look at Festival of the Arts was still going on, and there were topiaries being put up.
It is so...
They never used to merge it all like that.
There was always a break.
There's always a break, like a week in between. But here's the thing. There is time in between. There is a week in between at least, but for whatever reason, they were already putting up topiaries. But them putting up the main one was like, what are you doing?
Big. Yeah, why couldn't you wait till tomorrow night to do that, Tuesday night to do that?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't. But that being said, it is a really cool topiary display.
And my thinking was, because they had the media event starts at 8 a.m. for us
before the festival opens. Yeah,
before the festival opens, and I thought that was so we could all get in there and get our front pictures, is what I thought.
No.
But no, it doesn't matter now at this point because everybody's already seen it.
Well, you'll be able to get it with less people.
Yes.
When you go in.
True, but no, because they let people get all the way up to Spaceship Earth. That's rope drop is at Spaceship Earth. It's not at the turnstiles. So everybody will be able to get in there, and you're going to have everybody congested right there. Now, I don't know what time they're going to start letting the normal crowd in outside of the media. Hopefully it's not till 9 o'clock, so we can get in there.
I think we have to be there by 10 to 8 at the latest.
We'll be there, yeah. We'll be there at least by 7:45. We'll leave the house by 7:15 to get us there in plenty of time, parked and walked to wherever. Although we should have a good parking spot.
This is true.
We should,
but at Epcot, who knows?
Who knows? You never know. So in other news outside of Disney, 2 Universal Studio stories. It is the return of Butterbeer season at Universal for Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and then later this year, the Ministry of Magic's going to be opening at Epic. But Harry Potter, they were pretty busy with Harry Potter stuff the other day.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because they
the new wand
came out with new wands, and then the kickoff of Butterbeer season. We got a Butterbeer ice cream. We shared it.
We were at we had to go to the grocery store today. We went to Walmart. They had the Butterbeer goldfish. I saw the display.
Oh, you should have got it just for fun.
I should have. I was just trying to rush to shop because
I know you hate shopping.
I hate shopping. I go through and get what I need and get out of there. But I bet you they had other stuff. I didn't even look around. So maybe next time I'll go take a little bit longer and walk through the snack area and see if they have more stuff.
Because you like snacks.
I like snacks. And then also today, Universal Orlando put out a video that's highlighting their transformation from going from the 2 parks and then Volcano Bay to now they're going to be a 4-park destination with Epic. And tell you what, Epic is looking better and better every day. And I'm not saying it's not gonna crush Disney in any way, but I think people are gonna be adding days to their trips when they come down here. And now where they may have spent 4 days at Disney, they may come down here for 6 days and spend 2 days at Universal, maybe 1 day at the 2 parks and then 1 day over at Epic or something like that. I don't know if we mentioned it, but we did get to save the date for Epic Universe for a media event.
We might have mentioned it.
Can't remember if we did, but just in case we didn't, we do have a media event. It's the dates we were told to save was May 19th through May 22nd, and 22nd is the day the Epic Universe does open to the public. So
team members have gotten to see it over the weekend, and
Aiden's one friend works there.
I know, but they're not allowed to give you spoilers. That's the thing. Because his friend actually rode one of the coasters, and she said it was really fun, but she didn't give anything else. They're not allowed to.
They're not allowed to.
So
they had to sign NDAs.
Yeah, people on X, formerly Twitter, it's everywhere. People saying that this theme park is what theme parks should be. Beyond impressive, that it's going to be packed for a long time because it is so great. They're saying that they really, really knocked it out of the park with this one. And if it's even half as good as people are saying, that's exciting because you usually don't. There's always naysayers.
Always naysayers. And there will be. There will be somebody who.
So far, people are like, this is fantastic.
Good.
And it made me excited because people, and I think Universal put out something today. It was a camera of people walking in to see the park for the first time.
Might have been part of the video series they put, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just to see their reactions. Now, you couldn't see what they were seeing.
Right.
But I really think that they're hyping this up really well to where it's gonna be quite something when they open.
Well, and that's what I was talking to Corey over the weekend, and he was saying that their plan is to come back once Epic's open and all 4 of them go. And he said for 4 people to go for one day, it was like $600 and some odd dollars. So, well, it's not really that much more than going to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. I mean, nothing is cheap anymore.
No. And $200 for a theme park, that's kind of the going rate now. I mean, that's what it's getting to. It's not like you can still go to places like Cedar Point or Busch Gardens. I mean, there's parks that are under the $100 umbrella. But
it's not as easy to find now.
But the true theme parks, the themed parks, I should say it like that, where they have the lands and all that stuff, it is costing more because it takes a lot of work to create all that stuff. And the way Epic Universe came together, and it's come together fairly quickly.
It has. I know that I would like to get tickets and go. I mean, we're fortunate that we get the media preview to see the park with nobody in it,
right?
Except for the press.
Except for the opening day. We will be there opening day.
We will be, yes. But I would like to go back after the fuss dies down a little bit because I know Aiden is chomping at the bit to get because he loves coasters. He wants to go so bad.
Yeah. I think I definitely want to hang out in Dark Universe. That those 2 rides over there, just to me,
So they said Monsters Unleashed is like nothing you'll ever see before. It's like a scare zone ride.
The animatronics in there are
and I'm terrified. Like
I'm scared to death. I can't wait.
I don't. Okay, for is it Forbidden Journey?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one, when the spiders and the Death Eaters pop,
you scream every time.
I scream every time. I don't like to be startled. And those big...
And you know they're there.
I know. So sometimes what I do is if I'm thinking about it, I'll close my eyes because I don't want them in my face. So I'm wondering if that startles me. I'm imagining that this monster's thing is going to make me scream my face off.
And Frankenstein is my favorite Universal monster, so I'm so excited that
the animatronic is supposed to be outstanding.
It's outstanding. It says it moves so fluid, but they say it's heavy. They said that animatronic weighs like hundreds of pounds, and it moves like it's nothing.
Well, I guess we'll see.
So I can't wait to see that. So it's going to be fun. So that was it. That's all the news for the week. As we mentioned this week, we do have a couple media events coming up. So tomorrow, we're actually going to go over to Port Orleans and see the Mardi Gras parade.
Hopefully, if we can get over there.
If we can get over there.
The guards at hotels now over at Disney, it's like you have to like.
So if you're a guard who's listening to the show,
yeah,
and you're going to be at Port Orleans tomorrow, let us know.
Can we come in?
Can you get us? Can you let us park?
It's terrible how it is now.
We just want the parade and some beignets.
Right, we're not going to try to do anything else.
We're not going to sneak in the pool. We're not going to do any of that. We just want parade and beignets. That's all we're asking for.
That's all we want.
And then on Wednesday, as we've said, we have the Flower and Garden Media preview starting at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. So Michele and I are going to be getting up early the next 2 days.
Oh my gosh, I hate mornings.
And we'll be out there. The media events are always fun at Epcot. Although if the sun is beating down on us, it's
supposed to rain Wednesday, which I'm not thrilled about.
But you know what? The cloudy will keep it a little bit cooler for us.
Yeah, it's beautiful here right now. By the way, mid-70s. It is gorgeous in the daytime.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Okay,
you ready?
Sure.
What is one attraction that has been taken away or that's going away that you would bring back or that you would not want to let it go away? What is something that you either miss or something you really love? I think I know which one you're going to pick, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
one that's gonna be going away, or
It
one
can be
that's
going
already
away or gone. It could be something from 20 years ago that's been gone. It could be something that they took down in 1974. Whatever works for you.
You know, the thing is that it's hard for me to come up with one.
Okay.
Because
you can name a couple.
All right.
But you got to give a reason as to why.
Okay. So if I was going to say 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I was so small when I went on that ride. I was never an adult when they had it. Okay.
And you won't go on Nemo.
No, because I'm claustrophobic now and I have anxiety. So, but I remember being a kid and loving that. I loved watching the mermaids out the window. Okay, so, but I remember the mermaids. I remember the Nautilus. I don't remember much else.
Okay.
But I know I loved it.
Yeah.
I was terrified of Mr. Toad when I was little, but then when I've been on it in Disneyland, so I guess it's still there.
Yeah.
Oh God, I miss the Great Movie Ride.
Yeah,
I do. I wish instead of getting rid of it that they would have just updated some of the scenes.
Yeah.
And it was one of those rides that we just went on every time we were there.
We did because it was a good ride, and it
was nice and cool. You could sit down. It was just a nice break from the Florida heat, but it wasn't boring.
Right.
Like you can go places to get out of the heat or whatever that are kind of lame, but this wasn't.
And it used to have the Great Movie Ride. Used to have the two different acting sections.
Yeah, the cowboys and the gangsters.
The cowboy or the gangster, so you didn't know which one you were getting. And then when they got rid of one, they only had the other.
Is that the one you thought I was going to say?
No. Well, no, 20,000 Leagues was the one I thought you were going to say.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so that one, yes, you did say the one. But yeah, I agree. Great Movie Ride would be one I would love to have back. I agree. It should have just been updated instead of going with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is a great fun ride.
Snow White's Scary Adventures was a good one.
That one was good
too. I wish that they wouldn't have gotten. We've talked about this, and I think we talked about it last week too. How Walt Disney World is gotten rid of the old school nostalgia, whereas Disneyland has not.
Right.
And there's something to be said for those old rides because that was old school Disney.
Behind the Castle at Disneyland is so fun because you have Peter Pan, you have Toad, you have Snow White, you have Pinocchio, and just that whole little area, and then Dumbo's right there. And you got the Storybook Canal boat ride, and you have all this
Alice in Wonderland
and the teacups right there. And Alice in Wonderland, actually, I like that ride. I don't know why.
I do too. I don't know why.
I don't know why because I barely fit in the cart, but I like the ride.
I do too. I do too.
Ride. But that whole area, truly, that whole area makes you feel like a kid again.
It does, and it's just so. Like again, I hate overusing the word nostalgia, but it is.
And they're not because the rides are anything phenomenal.
No.
They're not like thrill rides. They're not. It's just fun to go through. When you're on Toad and you're going down the HE double hockey sticks, there's just something about that just being there. It's just
And those rides, this is going to sound weird. Those rides smell old. And I don't mean like mildew.
No.
But
I know what you mean, though.
But that old Disney smell. You know how they say all the rides, like Pirates has a certain smell or a Mansion has a certain smell? They have just, there's something.
They need a candle that has that smell.
There's just something that's it's historical. It's Disney history all bottled into a room.
It is. That is probably my favorite area of Disneyland.
It's
honestly,
so cool. I love it.
And then you can also do the walkthrough in the castle of the story of Aurora.
Yes, and they don't have that where we are. So yeah, I there's some things that I would like to see come back, but since we can't have that, I just hope that Disney as a whole doesn't keep getting rid of the classics.
Yeah, and it's a good question because it's like, what ride becomes untouchable? I mean, Mansion's never going to go anywhere.
Pirates never going to go anywhere. If you ask me.
As far as being taken down. Now, they can be updated, they can be remodeled, they can do all that stuff to them without a problem.
They're not going to get rid of them.
But they're not going to get rid of them. I think Carousel Progress needs an update.
Oh, for sure.
Because their future scene was like 12 years ago.
If not longer.
If not longer ago. I mean, the
like
TV they're playing the virtual reality on is like really bad. So, and yeah, that one needs to be updated because most of the stuff that's in that scene we have nowadays.
How many times is dude going to burn a turkey?
I know. Stop saying the score of the game. You're burning the turkey, and everybody can smell it. And burnt turkey's not that good of a smell.
Right.
So, okay, so that was my question for her this week. If you have a question you would like me to ask Michele, please email me at scott@themainstreetmouse.com, and I will ask it on air, and then we will put her on the spot because I do not let her see the questions ahead of time.
And he's running out of things to ask.
And I'm running out of things to ask. So if you could send me some questions, I would appreciate it because I could just go back through the first question I asked and go back through. But I want you guys to ask her something that you would like to know. Also, on Thursdays is Michele's Daydream Believing podcast. And if you have any show ideas, questions, or comments on that, you can email Michele@themainstreetmouse.com. That's Michele with 1 L, 2 L's, it won't go through. I can never say it right.
Michele with 1 L, not 2, or your email will not go through.
There you go. So Michele@themainstreetmouse.com for anything Daydream Believing podcast. Scott@themainstreetmouse.com for any questions you would like me to ask Michele during TMSM weekly or podcast weekly show, whatever we call it.
Whatever this is called.
Really quick, just want to run through our sponsors. Our official travel sponsor, partner of the Main Street Mouse, is MAI Mouse Fan Travel. Fantastic people. They can help you with any trip you're planning. So just go out there, check out our site. Any place you see their banners, click on it. You'll be forwarded to their website, fill out a quick information gathering thing, and then one of their travel agents will get back to you and tell you what kind of deals they're running. And their best part is their services are free for you. It doesn't cost you anything, and it takes
free is the best.
And takes so much stress out of you planning the perfect trip.
That's right.
It really does. Our other sponsor, stroller and scooter sponsor partner is Kingdom Strollers. They can deliver and drop off your stroller or scooter rental wherever you're staying, whether it be at a resort, hotel on 192, or even if you've rented a house for the week, they will deliver it to you and they will pick it up at the end of your rental. And they have all kinds of stuff. So if you go to kingdomstrollers.com, you can see what else they have to rent. Just let them know you heard about them from the Main Street Mouse so they know who sent them there. I have nothing else left, so I'm going to thank you guys for listening. I'm going to let Michele close out the show.
Okay, so as always, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to check out lostprincessapparel.com for all your theme park cuteness, outfits, etc. And don't forget to follow us on social media. We are on like every social media platform at the Main Street Mouse, so follow us because I put stuff up every single day. So... hopefully to see you on other platforms as well. And on that note, I hope you have a wonderful, amazing, fantastic, magical week ahead, and we'll see you real soon.
Our trip around the Magic Kingdom is almost complete. I can't thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. And I hope you've enjoyed your journey as much as I've appreciated being a part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please gather your belongings. Watch your head and step as you exit, and take small children by the hand.
On behalf of our entire flight crew, thanks for soaring with us.
Now I will raise the safety bar, and a ghost will follow you home.
Some imagination, huh?